Exams are getting over and it's summer internship time. And summer internship is so important. But there are so many courses to choose from. Which course you should choose and what should be the syllabus for it? All about this in this video. Coming up. Alright, let's get into the video. So I'm gonna talk about technologies like web development, mobile app development, machine learning and cloud computing. Usually you will find these courses the training institutes would be running, and possibly you might be also interested to learn any of these technologies in your summer internship. So let me start with web development. So what is it actually, web development? Web development actually deals in very simple words, the development of the websites. But what should be the topic when you go for web development? See, you can do web development with either PHP, which is very famous, or you can also use Python based web framework, that is the Django. But are you sure these are the two technologies that are being used in market or in the real-time world in the corporate sector? They might be used. I'm not saying they may not be used at all, but now the trend has moved into JavaScript. Guys out the corporate are now working on frameworks like Angular and React that are totally based on JavaScript. Now if you go to any of the institute and they tell you that they're teaching you web development, make sure that they're teaching you either Angular or React. And also before that, you need to make sure that before they teach you Angular or React, any of this JavaScript web framework, they should be giving you a good time on how Node.js is being done, and you can actually work on it, or more specifically I should say on how you can work on Node.js. A good knowledge of Node.js will really help you learn the Angular and React. Although it is not necessary, it is not at all mandatory, but if you really want to learn it in the best way possible, I would highly suggest you to first learn Node.js, then either move into Angular and React. And all these questions and inquiries you should be doing when you're going to any institute and signing it up for the web development course. PHP and Python based Django is fine, but I would highly suggest stop learning that. Many guys know in the market there's a high demand of Angular and React, and before they do teach you, make sure they also give you a briefing of Node.js. Also, I have made a video on 5 steps to learn modern web development. I'll give the link in the description so that you can go and have a detailed view for the same. The second is the mobile app development. Now we all want to develop Android apps and iOS apps and Windows apps and no more. So it's totally fine upon whatever they're teaching you. Now of course they cannot teach you very new frameworks like Flutter and all. That may not be possible for a training institute. But make sure that you don't just land up with some couple of projects that are quite outdated. Make sure you learn how to integrate with the Firebase or start making smart applications. Say suppose if you're making an Android app, don't just be an Android app, make sure that that Android app has also an application of cloud computing or maybe IoT. So in that case, it won't be just an Android based project that you make, it would be an IoT based Android project you have made, or you may also name it as a cloud based Android project. So any other technology with the Android, which is quite easy to mingle it up, it will act as an extra cheese on pizza. So make sure when you get into training institute, you discuss about this with the trainer and tell your career ideas to him. The third one is machine learning or data science. I mean, this is so famous, and I have also made one video on 4 steps to learn machine learning. I'll give the link in the description. The very simple way to check that, not to check specifically, to actually acknowledge whether it's a good course or not. If you get to see scikit-learn, TensorFlow, it's fine. Don't get fancied if you find a term like deep learning, make a human brain. Don't get fancied. You know that very well. Okay. But the only question you need to ask a trainer is that all the algorithms that we are going to learn, okay, are you going to teach us from scratch? That is with Python. Each and every algorithm, are you going to teach it with scratch? If they are going to teach you from scratch, it means that's a perfect way to learn. Else, if you want, if they're directly taking you to scikit-learn or TensorFlow just after teaching you y is equal to mx plus c, that is the equation of a straight line, and telling you that's linear regression, that's totally nonsense, that's bullshit. Stop going to that training institute, don't go for summer training. Just learning scikit-learn and TensorFlow and NumPy pandas and doing some y is equal to mx plus c, that is not machine learning until unless all the algorithms that you have learned, if you cannot write those codes in Python from scratch, you do not know the algorithm. You have just called a pre-built function in a library of scikit-learn or TensorFlow, and you're passing the parameters and storing it in a variable. So you need to remember all the algorithms that you're going to learn in machine learning data science. Ask your trainer or the training institute that are you going to teach me from scratch or not. The algorithm from scratch, remember that. The fourth one is the cloud computing. Now, this is where people really get fooled. They make a project, they'll go for 6 months of training and for a really long time, and at the end, their project will not have the cloud connectivity. I mean, their project will not have the cloud applications. I mean, I do not understand how is it possible. Like, at least if you're making a cloud-based project, you should either use Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud or Alibaba Cloud or Amazon AWS. It should use at least any one of these. Only then your project is a cloud-based project. You must remember it. See, training institutes are there. They have been running for a really long time. They're also running now. They also run in future probably. But it's your career, and you need to make sure a cloud-based project should have the cloud implementation. As simple as that. No rocket science. Okay. So make sure that all the points that I have told you, you please note it down and do a little more research on your own. Find a couple of more terms. Go to any institute and make sure before you pay any of the fees, you get to talk to the trainer and express your views and what you want to expect from this session, rather than just if they provide you a very fancy eco environment, many fancy chairs and a good projector and some really nicely written notes. That's not gonna work. That infrastructure is there. Okay, it's your life, it's your career. So if you have any more queries, you can just drop in the comment section below. I'll make sure that I reply to it. And if you have any new suggestions, you can also drop that in the comment section below, and I'll make sure that I come up with the same video that you have suggested as soon as possible. That was all from my side in this video. My name is Stephen Simon. I upload videos on every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.